Hello, hello, hello everyone. Welcome back to another video. Okay, let's check it out. Let's see what we got for you today. If we talk about iconic European cars, this car has to be in the list. When we say Volkswagen Beetle, Citroën 2CV, we can talk about the Mini Cooper, the Fiat 600, the Renault 4, and we also have to say the Renault 5. This car's been iconic not just in Europe, it's been in Latin America, especially in South America, in even in United States this car was built. It was not popular because in North America the idea of a car has to be a big, especially back in the late 70s and early 80s, has to be a big, comfortable, soft ride car. You don't want to, they didn't want you to drive a small little Renault 5. But let's get to the point what we have in front of us. It's a 143 scale 1983 Renault 5 Alpine Turbo. So this is more or less like the fastest in the normal looking Renault 5. What I mean by the normal looking Renault 5, because we know that Renault also made like the 5, I think it was called, I forgot the name. I have a video of it in the 164 scale. Renault, don't, Renault Turbo, 5 Turbo. Now, it was a much, racy type of car, had the fenders in the sides were sticking out. It was more like built for rallies. But in this type of looking, like the normal street car that we remember, most of us, first generation, this one was probably the fastest in the section. Great color, navy blue. I love the combination with the inside. This car, by the way, it's made by Norev. Norev has a bit of ups and downs lately, but this one is pretty good. You know, finally one would now when lately that I don't have to criticize, and I hate criticizing models because I love them all. Sometimes these brands they make a bit cheap, and they have to remember that these are not Hot Wheels. They don't go for 99 cents or maybe in other parts of the world a little bit more expensive, but these are not the play cars that you gave a 2-year old. These are collectibles. We collect these. These are display models, not cheap car. So since you're not charging cheap prices, you have to build them with quality. But let's get back to this one. I love the way it looks, even if you've seen pictures of it. Those turbo decals on the side. It even has a turbo decal in the rear window. Look at that. As it goes around, you can see it. The windshield wiper. I mean, literally everything is there. This car had like side fenders by the tail lights, on top of the tail lights. Beautiful. I even remember when I was a young kid and I used to see these cars on the road, I found them attractive. Back in the days, these were economy cars. You tell someone, oh, Renault 5, oh, come on, let's talk about BMWs. Let's talk about Mercedes. No, let's not talk about Renault 5. Nowadays, there's like a following on Renault 5s. So, it's curious how life works. Back then, nobody would really appreciate them. Nowadays, there are many people that appreciate even more than when they were new. Alright guys, let's let it go around a few times and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so let me give you a bit of information about this car, which I forgot to do it before. The first generation, the one that we're looking at right now, it was built between 1972 and 1985. So it was a 13-year long run, which is quite iconic for a model. Not as the Renault 4, which was like about 40 year or more, Renault 4, but we're talking about the Renault 5 right now. Now, just to give you a brief, this car, I meant to say, was built in many countries. I'm going to go quite quickly because there's about 10 of them. They had 3 different factories in France, Spain, Venezuela, Iran, Mexico, South Africa, and Yugoslavia. Wow. Quite good. They made them as a 3-door and also as a 5-door. I do remember the 5 doors. I think the 3 doors were more common, but I do remember seeing them in 5 doors. They had them as small engines. They came out starting for 800 cc's. So actually, to be correct, 782 cc's. Then they had another engine for 845 cc's, and then it went all the way up until 1.4 turbo. I came as a 4 and 5 speed manual and also had a 3-speed automatic. I remember seeing a few automatics. Not that common, automatics is usually not very common in European cars, especially back in the days. Now it is. Now it's just part of the normal, like in other countries, like in the other parts of the world. Now, let me know what you guys think about this car. Does it bring you back memories? Have you ever drove one of these? How comfortable they were? How reliable? Please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear them. Don't forget to please give me that nice thumbs up. I always appreciate that you are watching the videos. I appreciate your following. Don't forget to click and subscribe, and the bell next to the subscribe button will remind you when I'm posting more videos. Alright everyone, take care of yourselves more than ever, and goodbye.